beautiful people. Today is June 21st, 2022. It is National Go Skateboarding Day. Super exciting day for all of us skateboarders, or for anybody that enjoys the four wheels and a piece of wood. It's pretty crazy that I've been skateboarding for 20 years. That's something I was thinking about this morning. Is like, when did I start skating? And sometimes that's really hard for me because my dad skated. Skateboards have always been around. I'm very privileged in that sense. But when I was like 14, 15 is when I really started taking to skateboarding, kind of finding my crew, my community, my local skate park, and learning tricks and just realizing that it was such a special thing. And here I am 20 years later, still doing it, still enjoying it. I honestly think there's not many other things in my life that I want to do for longer than like 10 years or 12 years, 20 years, and it's still fun and exciting for me. So in this video, I wanted to stop and kind of just appreciate skateboarding and talk about 5 different reasons of why I'm still doing it and I still enjoy it. And I've had times where I didn't enjoy it, don't get me wrong, like trying to work in skateboarding and trying to figure out all that stuff and navigating all this stuff was just like part of my process. That's what I really love about it, is like, you know, no matter how good you are at skateboarding, but if you really love it, it doesn't even matter like whether you're good or you're bad, whether it doesn't really matter. But if you just love it enough to learn from it and grow with it, you can always find a place in skateboarding. I think that's really unique. There's not too many other cultures like that. So with that said, with all that kind of out in the air, I want to just thank skateboarding for giving me so much. Like, skateboarding doesn't owe me anything. I think it's really important to remember and identify, like, I shouldn't be paid to skate or anything like that. I should just be thankful that I found skateboarding in my lifetime. So the topic that I kind of wanted to explore for National Go Skateboarding today, hopefully you get a chance to get out there and ride your board even for 10 minutes. Kind of want to talk about 5 things that I think are really special within skateboarding for me specifically. The first one is it's a form of meditation for me. The second one is an energy place. I'll elaborate on that. The third is it's good exercise. Fourth is it's a no expectation space. And then fifth is the community. And I know these are very like generic things, so I'll dive into the first one. The meditation, for example, I don't really know how to meditate like 100%. I've read books. I'm always trying to figure out how to get into that very like neutral mindset. However, with skateboarding, it really does allow you to get into that meditative place, because like you'll learn. Hi, bird. It's a cute little bird. Hi, buddy. Wanna hang out? ADHD. That's one example. For example, like I wasn't very good in school because I have crazy ADHD and I see things and I get excited. It was skateboarding. It like kind of takes you out of all of that, because you really do have to be in it. If anybody has learned how to ollie or anything like that, you kind of like you get so focused on it that you forget everything else that you're thinking about, and you forget about the fear, you forget about the scare, because you're so focused on what it is that you're doing. And I think that's pretty much like a form of meditation in a way. You're not thinking about the consequences, you're not thinking about what you want to get out of it, you're just doing it in the moment. So I think like that alone is a really special thing. There's very few things that I've found in my life, almost 35 years old, that like have that same feeling of just like, oh wow, like I almost forget that I'm skating sometimes when I'm skating. And that's what I'm getting at, is like I almost just black out and I'm just in the moment, and then I take a step back and I'm like, holy crap, I just landed the trick, because I wasn't thinking about how scared I was to try it or anything like that. I was just like in there with the board. So I think skateboarding is definitely a form of meditation one way or another. I don't think it's always that case. I think there's special moments on your board. Like maybe you skate like, you know, 20 sessions. There's only one session that you have that meditative space. However, I think that is something that's very special and dear to my heart, because I just feel like it's hard to find things like that in life that don't come with lingering expectations or things like that, which is something else I want to get into. The second reason I think is energy. So when I say energy, I mean it in a good and negative way, to be honest. So like I sometimes need to release tension. Sometimes I had a long day at work or whatever it is, and it's a good space for me to go release that tension and to actually have like a healthy place to exert that tension. There's boxing, there's other things for other people, but skateboarding is really good for me. Also, sometimes I already have tension. I'm already mad or upset throughout the day and I'm trying to navigate it, and I go take a good slam. It kind of sends me back to reality. Like skaters need that sometimes. Sometimes I go out and like I don't intentionally want to slam, but that slam helps me have perspective for life. Like feeling a little pain and feeling a little bit of a fear and sensitive like emotion makes you kind of like have a better perspective and a better outlook. So I think the energy could be a great thing. It's like you can exert that energy, you can also take away from that as well. It's a really special thing that you can't find in many other things besides skateboarding. Now my third one might be a little more controversial, I guess, but it's exercise. Me personally, I'm not a gym rat. I know some of you have advocated that I need to start hitting the gym, and that's something I'm probably gonna start doing this year and try to like navigate and figure that out. But I will say, at almost 35. I've never been a gym rat, never been into the gym, and skateboarding has been a really good way for me to get exercise and to get the sun and just to be out in nature, in the environment. And you know, that's a really healthy thing. As much as like, I try not to look at skateboarding as this like exercise outlet, because I don't think that's super healthy. I do think it has really allowed me to stay more fit and stay more healthy. So it is a really good place for exercise. I don't want to too much on that, because I do think I do need to use the gym and stuff before. But for me, like, I have my maintenance sessions, for example, where I'm not like even trying to learn new tricks, and I'm just going to basically just sweat, and then once I get a good sweat, I leave. So exercise is like an awesome thing. It's good for you, and I get that out of skateboarding too. So like, it's a win-win almost in that situation for me. Now the fourth thing I would say is really important is a no expectation place. Now sometimes I can definitely cross blend this. Sometimes I have expectations that I want to land a certain trick, and it gets frustrating, and that's when I stop skating. When I'm not having fun anymore is when I quit. So I think having no expectations is such a crucial thing. It's hard to find other things, like I keep saying, other than skateboarding, that you can have that same feeling with, like having no expectations. From you go to work, having the expectation that you get paid. You know, you go to school with the expectation of getting that good job. Like, we're taught from like beginning, you know, of our lives here, at least in America, of like how to be a good employee, and like it all comes with expectations. So skateboarding is a really cool place to like not have that. Like, sure, you want to grow and you have goals and you have tricks you want to learn, but ultimately it's just a space to exist. And I think like having that is so crucial. It's good for our mental health, and just having like a no expectation zone to just go out and enjoy some space, whether they be good or bad, and just kind of accept everything that it comes with it, I think is really cool. And I just really love that about skateboarding. And don't get me wrong, there's some times where I do expect things, and I want to get a good video out or whatever, but at the end of the day, the purest, the most joyful moments on my skateboard is when I'm not expecting anything at all. Now the fifth and final thing I'll end this with is the community. I used to BMX. I loved BMX. I was racing. I was actually semi-decent, not to get all egotistic, but I was pretty good at BMXing. However, I found the skateboard community such a better space. I enjoyed it more. I felt more comfortable around the people. I just had like better energy. It was like more camaraderie. It was less like of this like me versus you. It felt like more like we were all together. So I think the community of skateboarding is so cool. Like, if it weren't for skateboarding in the community, I wouldn't have ever traveled around Europe. I wouldn't have gone to all the places that I now have gone, and have a better perspective and become a better person. So I think the community is so awesome. Like, we traveled to Arizona a few months back, and people gave us open arms. They didn't even know us. They're like, oh, you're skaters, come into our house, you could stay with us. So the skateboard community is so unique in that sense. It's very supportive. It can be toxic in certain ways, but it can be very supportive and very unique to like anything else. Like, there's nothing else to where I can go to a skate park in a foreign country and probably find someone to stay with. Actually, I have done that. I've went to Sweden at one point. I knew nobody. I went to the skate park, and then people ended up offering me a place to stay. Like, there's no other sport or anything else out there that is so tight-knit in that sense. So I think the community of skateboarding is so cool. It's so important, and it's just dear to my heart. So as always, I want to end this video with, why are you still skateboarding? And if you're not, why aren't you? I appreciate all of you. I love you. Go out there, enjoy the sun. Mash. Peace. Appreciate you. I don't know how to end this video though. It's a raw heart-to-heart with y'all. Let me know how you feel about this. Get out there. Mash again. Just got done filming the intro that was in the beginning of this video, and going past those birds, man, they ended up shitting on my board. Pretty crazy. Careful filming at the pier. Don't want to get bird poop on your grip tape.